Another day has passed. It's time to get back on this project. I've got my front and rear covers installed. Everything is torqued down properly. I've reinstalled my oil pump. It's time to put my oil pan gasket on. And my oil pan, I did replace my oil pan. The other one was pretty ugly. Wasn't sure if I mentioned that in the last video or not, but just felt that it was something I probably ought to try to do. So we've got a new pan here. I'm going to go ahead and lay that out on top. And have a bunch of 10 millimeters that we're going to tighten down around this. Will be time to flip this thing over and begin installing the cylinder head. Now I'm waiting on parts for the cylinder head. I've got the head itself that I've cleaned and gone through, replaced the seals, but I do not have the camshaft or the kit to adjust the valves. So I'm waiting on those still. A lot of shipping issues here at the end of 2020. So I'll be waiting for those. And when they show up, I'll be ready to rock and roll on this thing. Once that's done, it's pretty much time to put a bag over this thing and set it aside until I've got the other engine out, and then we're going to be swapping over the engine components, the bits and pieces that don't get replaced. The intake manifold, well, I have another exhaust manifold. I have a high flow exhaust manifold that I'll be putting on this, and it's kind of funny. I really didn't want to do this up. Does that make sense? Like, I really didn't want to make a performance engine for this thing, but I do want a little more power, and the cost of some of these things have come down so much over the years that I felt like this was going to be like minor enhancements, right? I'm not putting a motor that didn't come in one of these cars in there. I'm not putting a Toyota motor or something like that in there, or a Honda engine. I'm not turbocharging it or supercharging it. So it will look to the average person like it is still the factory stock engine that came in 1980. And in fact, it's not that far off. This motor here is a 1983. I found the serial number on it when I was cleaning it up. So it's a solid lifter, 1983, 1.8 GTI engine. And I think that's pretty cool that it's not too far off from the year that this thing came with from the factory. So yeah. Anyway, I figure, I don't know. I don't build a lot of engines anymore. Nobody really builds a lot of engines anymore. Most people, it's so much cheaper just to buy a drop-in. Not cheaper, but just easier. And cost-wise, like if you're charging by the hour for your work, well then yeah, this is a loss for me. I'm certainly spending this much time doing this forgotten art. But if you're a person who wants to save some money or just has the desire to build your own engine from scratch, well, you're definitely getting a bird's eye view of how it happens. I'm sure there's a torque spec for these, but tight is tight. You do this stuff long enough, you spend as many years as I have in the industry, and you just get a feel for how tight certain size bolts are supposed to be. These are non-critical. If I needed to come back through here because of a minor oil leak and tighten these down a little bit more, that's not that big of a deal to do so. In fact, over the years, I have done a few re-rings, not re-rings, well yeah, I did a re-ring on one of these ones too, but where you do the bearings. I'm going to redo the bearings, rods, mains, and you can even pop the cylinders out and do it all in the car. So it's possible to do that kind of work if you're looking to save money or time. And occasionally you get a client who just didn't have either. So you just try to slap in a new set of bearings on some that, you know, maybe they ran out of oil or whatnot. That was a thing back in the day, and this is an engine style that you could do that on. More modern engines become much more difficult to do a job like that without pulling the engine out and completely tearing it down. And you can see that I'm not doing this in a row. I'm not going around in a circle here. That's to make sure that I don't accidentally warp this thing as I assemble it. Doing a little bit here and a little bit there on each side helps to bring it down onto itself kind of level. Alright, before I flip this thing over, you'll notice that it is missing its drain plug. I have ordered a drain plug for this, and I ordered one that has a little magnetic catch on it. Something I recommend when you're going to be doing work like this is to get one of those. It's just a few dollars extra for replacing the original drain plug. That magnetic catch, however, will catch any kind of casting issue or mess that I've made, if I have any metal filaments in here I didn't catch when I was cleaning things up, that will grab hold of that and hopefully allow it to get removed the next time I change the oil. When I start this engine, I'm going to run it barely up to operating temperature. I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to drain the oil and replace the filter, so it won't have this oil in it for very long when that time comes. But that's it. I've got my oil pump back on. I've got everything back on the bottom. It's time to flip this thing over, slap a head gasket on it, and it's